Survivor Season 46 is already proving to be competitive, cutthroat, and surprising for the viewers, and we are reviewing all things Episode 2 today. So the first thing we need to dig into is camp life. We see this is like the heavy focus. This is another two-hour episode, and this was like the first 30 minutes, which I loved. Because here's the thing. I feel like if they're going to make these longer episodes, getting to know these castmates and the dynamic of these tribes is what we want out of it.
It lets us connect more to them personally.
Yeah, and what I loved is we saw each tribe, something different was happening. So you had the yellow tribe, you had like Tevin and Hunter, I think they were kind of like joking around about like what the competition was going to be that day and like kind of like joking about it in a very severe way just to like make light of like their time on the island. And then you have the green tribe that like Ben had made fire for the first time, which is what you're seeing on screen now. And that was like a really big like moment for him. But then also on the green tribe, you see Charlie and Ben kind of go at it with this like, what is it, Metallica and Taylor Swift.
Like a song off.
Yeah.
And I loved it because, you know, I'm a Swiftie.
Well, I thought it was genius because Charlie had said, he was like, I'm having trouble connecting with these people, and you have to find common ground with these people because there's age differences, there's background differences, life differences, all these things kind of in your way as barriers, and so you have to find a very common ground way to connect, and that was his end. He was like, hey, I know Taylor Swift, I know music, this is how I can connect with people. And another vein, though, something else we see is that over on the purple tribe, which is the hot mess tribe of this season, it's just, I don't know what it is,
there's
but
something. It's
something.
Purple. It's always purple.
Yeah, and we see that this tribe is kind of all over the place. Jess is still very frantic. Banu is like in his own world, but he's very hot-headed. Q and Tiffany are both just very competitive, and they're like kind of mad at the rest of the tribe. And you have Mackenzie, who's like floating between both sides, but not doing a very good job of it, and being very confusing,
I feel like she's trying to play a like strategic game, but she's not doing like the best job at it, you know? I don't know. She's an interesting player.
Yeah, she's like trying, but in the wrong ways. Like I feel like if she just went about it a little bit differently, she'd be viewed as a better player than she is, but I think right now it's just messy gameplay.
Yeah, no.
So I don't know how I feel about that. So then we move into this episode's immunity challenge. So walk me through this challenge.
This was an interesting one.
Yeah.
Well, not really interesting, but like a heated one.
Yeah.
So they had to like push these carts down, put them on the blocks on there, and get them down there, unlock them and everything, and then put a arch puzzle together.
Yes.
And these teams struggled.
Yeah, which I think looked hard.
Yeah, I'm sure, because the blocks aren't light.
Yeah.
They're super heavy, and I'm pretty sure it said perseverance or persistence, something like that is what it spelled out, and it had to be on both sides.
Yeah. So not only did you have to get it to balance correctly, but then it had to be spelled correctly and hold up for a certain amount of time.
Well, it had to be able to hold itself up by itself.
Yes, and something that was interesting is I've been listening to the official Survivor podcast on Fire with Jeff Probst, and they said that the idea for this stemmed from last season. There was an individual immunity challenge that was on a much smaller scale of this, and the goal was always to make it a huge one for teams, but they were nervous about how it would pan out, so they tried that one first, and then that's how this one came to be, which I thought was interesting because it worked, but it definitely caused a lot of drama and a lot of confusion.
Well, and I saw a lot of people on my X, they were like, you know, if Purple would have had Jelinski, long arms, tall, they might have
worked in their benefit. And that's the thing about Survivors. You never know where certain people are going to come in handy or maybe to their advantage.
Right.
So now at the end of this immunity challenge, we see Purple lose again. The other two tribes gain immunity. So Purple is kind of like last year's Lulu or the previous season's Tika. It's just like there's always a hot mess team, it feels like, in the first half of the season. And the Purple team is just who it is this year, unfortunately. And I think it's because you have these very chaotic dynamics, right? Like no one is really on the same page. Even like Tiffany and Mackenzie kind of act like they're working together, but Mackenzie is trying to like kind of go behind Tiffany's back with Banu and Jess. And then Q's just kind of there. And then Jess is in La La Land. And then Banu's just like so emotional about everything that it's just like they're not clicking, they're not getting on the same page.
They're all just playing their own very different games. And they're not strategizing together very well.
Exactly. So then we kind of work towards Tribal Council. And here's the thing. It feels like Jess is probably going to go, which she ends up going. But then also it's like Banu might be there. And then Banu totally like shows his cards at Tribal Council, which was not smart at all.
Panic meltdown.
Total panic.
Goes into this long rant. And then he goes to everybody except Jess individually and like, who are you voting? Who do I need to vote for? Who do I need to vote for? And it's crazy.
It's very weird. It's very weird. It's very chaotic. What was funny, though, backing up a little bit in time, is that prior to Tribal Council, they kind of tried to duke Jess out with like a fake idol, but it didn't work because she's so spacey that she didn't even care to like really look for an idol. She just like didn't put that much effort in. So here's the thing. If this Purple tribe does not get their stuff together, they're gonna be lost in the sauce. They're gonna I think put themselves at a huge disadvantage, and they're probably just gonna keep dwindling in their numbers. But what I'm interested to see as well is we saw last season for the first time in a long time, there was some pre-merge tribe swaps. So I'm interested to see if that comes into play maybe this week or next week, and if so, how that changes the dynamics. Because last year, when Lulu was down really bad, we saw Caleb and Emily kind of go into those tribe swaps, go into the merge, and it kind of worked to their advantage. Emily made it really far. Caleb was like the second out, but it was just because he's too big of a threat. So I'm curious to see what will happen, and also if there will be a crack in one of these bigger tribes, because we're already seeing the cracks, they just haven't lost immunity.
Right, that's very true.
So Survivor, brand new episode tonight on CBS.